What's going on, everyone? Thanks for clicking on the video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 2DS XL and figuring out if it's still worth picking up if you already have a Switch. So it's been around 6 years since the launch of the original 3DS, and nearly 4 years since Nintendo revealed its latest console in the 3DS family, the aptly named 2DS. But here we are in 2017, just a few months after the release of the Switch, and now we have the new 2DS XL. So the big question is buying a new 2DS XL in 2017, especially if you already have a Switch, a justifiable purchase? Well, let's crack this thing open and find out. The first thing you're gonna notice about the 2DS XL box is just how small it is, especially when you stack it up and compare it against the Switch box. It sort of puts things into perspective about how Nintendo views their ecosystem. To me personally, Switch is more of a handheld console. However, it's pretty clear to see that Nintendo is pushing the fact that Switch is their primary home console. But let's keep moving and see what's inside. Right away, as soon as you open the box, you're gonna be met with the elusive AC adapter, which I'm really happy to see that Nintendo put a power cable back in the box, since for whatever reason they decided to not include it with the new 3DS. But I do have to say that I'm a little disappointed in the fact that they didn't include a USB to DS cable. It's still just an average wall plug, which is a little annoying because it would have been way more convenient to just be able to charge through USB. I mean, they gave us the convenience of using USB with the Switch, so I don't really understand why they wouldn't have included it with the new 2DS XL either. Moving on from there, we're met with the new 2DS XL itself, which is now totally redesigned to look more like a 3DS, donning the far more familiar classic clamshell design. Except in my opinion, this is probably the best non-looking special edition DS console in the entire DS family. First and foremost, I really like the two-tone color look of the entire console. I've never really been a fan of solid colored consoles, so adding a little bit of blue flare across the trim really makes it pop when you're using it out in public. The blue color is also really nice. It's not quite the exact same shade of neon blue as the neon blue Switch Joy-Con, but it's pretty darn close. And they definitely do look really good when you stack them up side by side. I'm also a fan of the pseudo carbon fiber shell. It's textured, so it feels really nice when you run your fingers across it, but it also makes the console itself just look that much more interesting and unique. Taking a look at the new 2DS XL and the Switch side by side, it's pretty evident that Nintendo is trying to adapt a more mature look to their devices, which is something that I really do appreciate, especially as I get older. The console itself is very light. It weighs in just over half a pound, which is ever so slightly less than the new 3DS XL, and almost half the weight of the Switch. Not to mention, this is probably also the most comfortable DS console that I've ever used. And I've never really found myself getting tired or cramping up while I was holding it up and playing for extended periods of time. Nintendo also decided to give the new 2DS XL its own private little storage compartment for your game cart and micro SD card. Now, I really think that this was a much needed change and a big improvement to the game cart slot in the 3DS and new 3DS. I've definitely had plenty of those moments where I was finishing up playing, closing the clamshell, and accidentally ejecting the game cart, losing all of my progress. So now that it's all enclosed, we don't have to worry about having any more of those types of issues, which is really nice. They also added an NFC reader in the touchscreen for amiibo support, just as they did for the new 3DS, which is awesome because that means you won't have to carry around an extra adapter with you just like you had to if you were stuck with the original 3DS or 2DS. The buttons all feel great and work exactly as they did before, but one thing that still really confuses me is why they shrunk down the stylus as much as they did. I mean, I find it really uncomfortable to use now, which in all honesty just makes me want to use it less than I already might have to. It's not that big of a deal breaker by any means, but it's just one of those things that makes you wonder, what was Nintendo thinking? Another thing that I'm a little disappointed about is that the top screen is still pretty wobbly, and anyone who's ever used a DS before probably knows what I'm talking about. For whatever reason, the clamshell design of the 3DS has always left the top screen feeling a little loose, which can get really annoying when you're playing and using motion controls. So it just makes me wonder why Nintendo wouldn't have wanted to fix that little design flaw with this last iteration of the DS. However, despite a few small shortcomings, I really do like the new 2DS XL. I think it's one of the best dedicated handheld gaming consoles ever created. But the real question is, of course, is it worth picking up a new 2DS XL if you already have a Switch? Alright guys, take it from me, your friendly neighborhood Switch tuber. If you already have a new 3DS, then there's really no reason that you should go out and get a new 2DS XL. They essentially do the same exact thing, except the new 3DS definitely does have a better screen and can of course do the whole 3D thing, which I think most of us can agree that it's interesting for about 30 seconds and then you just end up turning it off. But if you're like me and you skipped out on the new 3DS completely and only had a 3DS, then I definitely think that the new 2DS XL is worth picking up. But only if you're interested in playing the exclusive titles like Xenoblade 3D and the upcoming Samus Returns. Not to mention the Super Nintendo Virtual Console is exclusive to the new 3DS and new 2DS XL line, so you're gonna have to have a new DS if you want to play Super Nintendo games on the go. That is, of course, until they finally do put Virtual Console on Switch, which will hopefully be sooner than later. The bottom line is, the 3DS has a very large library of some really awesome games that it's built up over the better part of the last 6 years. However, it's a console that's at the end of its life cycle. The Switch, on the other hand, well, it's the new hotness. I mean, let's be real. That's what we've all been focusing on, and that's really what the majority of Nintendo fans really care about right now. It's just such a different experience playing a game on the Switch, as opposed to playing it on the new 3DS or new 2DS XL. The Switch offers a more traditional gaming experience, but in a very unique way. Whereas the DS offers a unique gaming experience, but in a traditional handheld way. So let me know what you guys think about the new 2DS XL. Are you thinking about picking one up yourself, or are you still too busy trying to get your hands on a Switch? Join me in the comments below and let me know. Also, congratulations, Nyko Clip Grip Power winner. I'll be getting in touch with you. Check your emails and Twitter. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like it and subscribe for more Switch videos just like this one. Thanks, and have a great day.